Yo, what is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some breaking news out of Utah and Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks have just sent forward John Collins to the Utah Jazz in exchange for some future second-round picks, and they're also going to open up a huge trade exception and acquire Rudy Gay from the Utah Jazz. Now, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down kind of this blockbuster trade for the Utah Jazz, what John Collins is going to bring to Utah next season, and what Atlanta can now do with this big trade exception, with this, kind of open roster space, cap space in general. But in this video, I'm going to be breaking all of that down. Do me a favor, before we get to the video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the family. I will be covering the entirety of the NBA offseason, which includes the rest of free agency, any trades that take place, Summer League. If you guys want to come watch some games with me, I'm going to be streaming live on this channel some Summer League games. So if you guys want to watch those with me, make sure you guys join the family. But without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, like I said, John Collins is headed to the Utah Jazz. The Hawks are acquiring Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick for Collins, who is owed $78 million over the next 3 seasons. Now, let's start off with Atlanta. Atlanta needed to do this just because strictly the fact that they needed some more cap space, because they have a bunch of guys who are scheduled to hit the free agent market in a year or two, and they just needed some more, cap space to be able to extend some guys like DeJounte Murray, Onyeka Okongwu, and Saddiq Bey. Some of these guys are, their contract is coming up. They needed some more space to, be able to sign them to extension. So I think that is going to help Atlanta. Not Rudy Gay. John Collins is a guy that they've been wanting to move for a while now. They've been, rumored with the Celtics, and a bunch of other teams were trying to get John Collins. Is just asking price was always too high, but it seems like Utah got him for a very cheap price here. Rudy Gay, and a guy who is probably on an expiring deal. You got a second-round pick. I mean, not too much. I think this is primarily Atlanta just saying, listen, we're ready to move on. We're ready to open up some cap space, and are ready to either make a big-time move or get these younger guys on extensions, like I said before. But that's pretty much it for Atlanta. I mean, I like the trade for Atlanta. They needed to get rid of John Collins. They needed to free up some more cap space, and they did that here. They also opened up a huge trade exception. I think it's about $17.5 million. They can now fit someone into a trade exception. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I think read that somewhere, so let me know if I did get that wrong. But nevertheless, the Utah Jazz are the real winners of this trade, in my opinion, because John Collins is a guy who can add a lot to a team. And I think he's going to come in here and be a big impact player right now, right away. Right now, you look at their roster, guys. Listen to this roster. You got Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson. Don't really know if they're going to be there, but look at this forward selection right here. You got Larry Markkinen. You got Taylor Hendricks. You got John Collins. You got Walker Kessler. You got Kelly Olynyk. Udoka Azubuike. I mean, there's guys everywhere. Keontae George, who they just brought in. Dude, that is a huge front court. I mean, that is insane how big they are, and how big, they can even continue to get throughout free agency and the guys they bring in. But John Collins is a guy who, I don't think he fit too well with Atlanta. I think they were trying to do a lot of different things that, he just wasn't, molded to be that type of guy. But I think he can come in here in Utah and be a big-time addition. Now, when you look at John Collins and what he brings as a player, his athleticism is off the charts. He possesses impressive athleticism, which is incredible. He can finish at the rim. He's a good rebounder. He can block some shots at times. Just great leaping ability. As you see here in these highlights, the man can jump out the gym, and he can really change the momentum of a game at any given time with a big lob, a big dunk, whatever he can do. He can get the crowd going and change the whole entire momentum in the building. Now, he also can score the ball at a pretty decent level. I mean, he's got a very reliable mid-range shot. I would say he's very effective around the rim. Like we said, he can jump out the gym. He can really finish around defenders. But also, he's starting to be able to knock down the three ball little bit by little bit each and every single year. He's getting a little bit better. Now, last year, he honestly had one of his worst years in terms of shooting the three ball. He only shot 29.2% from three. Now, listen, that is terrible. I get it. That is terrible. But you go back a year, he shot 36.4% from three. You go back a year prior, 39.9% from three. A year prior, 40.1% from three. Guys, He had a bad season, and the Hawks crucified him for it. Now Utah's getting a guy who has shown the ability to hit shots in the past, and if he comes over here to Utah and does primarily that same thing he was doing in 2021, 2020, 2019, if he could do that again, it's going to be scary. Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, if they both can shoot the ball well, I mean, the Utah Jazz could be incredible depending on what they bring in to support this backcourt. Now, another thing he does pretty well is rebound the ball. Not as if they needed another rebounder with Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen. I mean, their rebounding is probably going to be off the charts. They might be the best offensive rebounding team in all of basketball next season. Now, he's also very good in terms of his pick and roll proficiency. He's grown, he's adapted to the ability to run the pick and roll and using the athleticism to get to the bucket as quick as possible. Always makes him a lob threat. So that's something he learned over there in Atlanta, and I think that's something that he will continue to develop here in Utah. But overall, I'm loving this trade here for the Utah Jazz. I think it helps them now and later. They do have to, pay him a lot of money over the next 3 years, but I think that these core of players, how old is John Collins? I think he's like 25, right? Yeah, 25 years old, former first-round pick. I think him, Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler have a bright future. And let's not forget about Taylor Hendricks, who they just drafted as well, another versatile player who they're bringing into the mix. But let me know what you guys feel about this trade for the Utah Jazz. I think it is a W trade for the Utah Jazz. I don't mind it for Atlanta. I think they needed to get rid of John Collins, but in terms of what they got back, I don't think they received too much besides the biggest thing was probably the $17 million trade exception, if that was rumored to be right. I read that on Twitter before I'm making this video. Let me know in the comment section down below if that's actually false. But man, let me know what you guys think. Give me a grade on this trade for the Utah Jazz. A+. I mean, I would give this probably an A- right now for the Utah Jazz. For the Hawks, I think I would just give it a straight B. You open up some cap space. We'll see what they do. It depends what they do with that cap space. That's really going to make me want to give them a true grade. But hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Remember, I will be covering the entirety of the NBA offseason. So join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Pro Class, the absolute best place for you to take your game to the highest level. It's the first of its kind sports training and development platform where you can reach your highest potential by learning from some of the best athletes on the entire planet. Some of these guys include Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Allen Iverson, DeMar DeRozan, and so many more. And I have some great news to you guys. If you guys go use my code MattyDubs, you'll get 50% off hundreds of training videos, workouts, and drills, and you can get in the lab right now. So go check it out. Go steal some of the secrets from some of the top players in the world right now. And if you are interested in developing your skills at any level, if you play in middle school, high school, college, or if your goal is just to be a better athlete, a better basketball player, this is where you need to go. Nobody else does this. Go check them out, and you can learn, develop your skills at a fast pace, high speed level. Click the link in the description for instant access to all of the secrets in the world. And remember, using code MattyDubs will get you 50% off right now, so don't miss out on this offer.